Hello, I'm Michael O'Brien, City Manager with the City of Worcester. I'm here on Fremont Street in Worcester, Massachusetts, in a hotbed of innovation and entrepreneurism at Abbas and Insignia, a manufacturer here in Worcester. Our program, Made in Worcester and Made in the USA. I'm here today with Jim Devaney, owner and operator of Abbas and Insignia. And we're here to talk a little bit about what happens here on a daily basis and how, through that entrepreneurship and innovation, that they're able to compete on a world stage making quality leather products, including baseball gloves and other amenities. We've obviously been working very closely together through the years, and that relationship's greatly appreciated. What you mean to our community as a manufacturer here in Worcester, the history of your firm here, and the great strides you've made in dealing with always the ups and downs of the economy, but employing Worcester residents and helping our community thrive. So tell us a little bit about Worcester and tell us a little bit about your firm and what's happening here today.
Well, thank you, Michael. We've been in Worcester since 1976 and been producing leather products in Worcester since '76. We moved into the current facility in 1985. We had a tremendous amount of assistance from the city where we were able to get a tax increment financing as we did rehabilitation with the assistance of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We grew our employment base here up to 600 people in that period of time. We had some difficulty, as many domestic manufacturers did, competing with Asian manufacturing. The city continued to support us. We kept our nucleus of employees, and now it seems that there's a brand new opportunity, and I think it has a lot to do with the quality of the people of Worcester and our employees, that they make really world-class merchandise, and they make it on a custom basis to compete with the very finest manufacturers in Europe and Asia, deliver it on a very rapid basis, and what used to be maybe a disadvantage, we now view as an advantage, where the speed to market and the quality of merchandise is paramount over price-only philosophies.
It's no secret, Jim, and I know I've told you this before, that I've got great admiration for you. I mean, everything you just described is really what makes America great. This idea of a skill and a talent, for you, the entrepreneurism, to be able to take on a venture like this and in so many ways be able to find that adaptations that's required through time for a very robust economy, constant changes that occur on a worldwide stage, and still be in the business of manufacturing. What are some of those changes that had to happen through time in order to make sure that you were able to compete, say, for instance, with the Chinese, or produce a product of equal quality to those of the Europeans, but do it right here in Worcester?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that it was the revelation, the epiphany was ours to do as managers and owners of this business, is to recognize that as many products as we used to make, and as unspecial as they were, and I really do believe they were unspecial, is that when we stepped back far enough, we recognized that we had some skill sets that were very unique and very unusual. We had a domestic advantage in terms of speed to market. It doesn't help to say made in America unless you make a very high quality product. We have 25 people here that can make this bag from A to Z. Now those are skills that are very hard to find. And the idea was that with some product development, with some great retail partners and distribution partners, we have the advantage of quality merchandise made and delivered quickly, and not necessarily in mass production, but in custom production, has really turned this business around.
And it's clear just from looking at the product, I know I had a chance to look at all of these on the display case. I mean, you can feel the quality, you can see the quality, and all I could ask is if you have it in some other color besides pink. Clear. Doesn't match my eyes. Does my tie, though.
Take it home for your wife.
The realities of adaptation, marketplace, and making sure you're able to compete. I know you look very carefully at lean manufacturing, and kind of examples that may have came from Asia and other places. Talk a little bit about what you were able to do using the types of techniques of making sure you're highly efficient, cross-training workforce, and having those employees really able to take any point on an assembly line and be able to pick up and do that task to make sure there's no break and everybody's really well-rounded in their skill sets.
Yeah, that's a critical skill and operational requirement. We had the great benefit, one of our businesses here, the manufacturing of baseball gloves, we set up 5 years ago with a lean manufacturing expert by the name of Len Egan, who practices in the sole licensee of the Toyota sewing system. So we went from never making a baseball glove to what we consider today to be probably the most productive baseball glove manufacturing in the world. And on top of it, the system lends itself to be able to make custom baseball gloves, so that if you want your name on it, if you want your own colorways on it. And just recently, we had the great opportunity of partnering with Hillrich and Bradsby, better known as Louisville Slugger, who had all the brand values that we did not have, and I think the partnership is going to be fabulous. And it's all based, Michael, as you just mentioned, on this lean manufacturing cross-training basis, where the ultimate outcome is not the operation itself, it's the product deliverable. Where a consumer can go online, order any kind of glove they want, any colorway they want, any web size or size of glove they want, have it personalized and have it out to them within 10 working days.
That's amazing.
It's quite different.
To your credit in understanding supply chains from China and how long that takes, the reality of goods to market and expectations of the client, it just shows you that you kept your ear to the rail, you knew and understand the industry, and through time have been able to make sure you're keeping Abbas and Insignia in the forefront and continuing to hire locally. Now, I know that you paid particular focus on the neighborhood from which you operate day in and day out, and those residents that clearly would welcome a job and that have come for the American dream here to Worcester, just like people have through centuries. Birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, people came for work and to be able to ultimately raise a family and take advantage of all the great things this country has to offer. In that, I know that you work hard to find those that have come from other countries that are here legally, that are now in their country of origin, were stitchers or had some experience in assembly and this type of work. And then you take the extra step as well to help them better learn the language. And so I know you run some English as second language during breaks and lunches and all. But in so many ways, your work in this regard helps them realize the American dream and also helps build community with Worcester. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's nice you give us credit. I think all the credit is due to the people. I think that the workforce in Worcester, Massachusetts, 50 miles west of Boston, manufacturing leather products that take footwear into consideration, probably 90% is made in Asia, is a credit to people. The fact that they're here and that they have this inclination and they have this work ethic and they have these skills. It's just, they're fabulous people. As we walk to the factory, we'll introduce you to people who've been here 34 years, 29 years. And that's what we were able to maintain, and the key to our grow back is that nucleus of people we still have who can make a product from A to Z, that can teach people to do a component of that, that are willing to learn the new manufacturing methods that we call lean. And it's really nice of you to compliment us at all, but it's really about the people.
Well, it's philosophy, and again, from an admiration standpoint, I admire you for the realities of looking for that type of employee and giving them that leg up and having them be able to take advantage of the American dream, again, which is part of Worcester's storied past and certainly part of our very bright future. In the realm of manufacturing, you clearly had to lean on technology because to be efficient is to take advantage of computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing. And in so many ways, I've seen this example on your floor where you've been able to take high-quality leather coming in from various points on the globe and certainly here nationally, raw leather and making sure that high quality leather is used to its maximum extent possible. And why don't you explain a little bit about some of that investment that's had to take place so that you could maximize that product?
Yeah, and we're not there's high tech, there's low tech, and there's no tech. A lot of people have considered the leather manufacturing business to be a no tech business. We never felt that. We do an awful lot of, we through the Commonwealth's assistance and through some private investment, we've done an awful lot of investment in the best technology in the industry. And it's not just that it's more productive, it's also the quality's better, because to support this kind of technology, we have CAD engineers, we have CNC milling machines downstairs that be really behind the scene that supports the floor. And so you get people who buy into it day one, and you get a product that's absolutely perfect, the same size, every day, every time, every hour of every day. And that's a lot of the equipment's dedicated, and it's the investment has been made. We've made it over the last 25 years in this facility, and now it's really what we see encouraging is now we have the opportunity to use it and to grow it back because of changing marketplaces, because of great partners who see the advantage of what our people can bring to them. So it's an exciting time for us.
Well, I know I can speak on behalf of the citizens of Worcester, certainly in my role working with my administration, how grateful we are for your investment in our community, your philosophies about working with us to employ our residents and work with us to make sure that we can assist when possible to keep you advanced, ahead of the curve and able to compete in that global stage. And how proud we are, obviously, of the products you produce that are in all those high-end department stores, as well as in many of the sports distributors and sports outlets. And the good news is it's all made in the USA, which warms our heart, but what warms our heart in particular is made in Worcester. So why don't we take a look at the showroom and as well as the shop floor.
Great.
Contrary to its name, the Louisville Slugger baseball glove is not manufactured in Kentucky, but here at the Insignia factory in Worcester. At first glance, the workshop resembles an old-fashioned assembly line, but look closer and you will see most tables are linked to 21st century technology.
And the name of the company is really Hillrich and Bradsby, but doing business since 1884 as Louisville Slugger. They are really the iconic brand in baseball. They've been around forever. They're sponsors of the MLB in terms of baseball. But for us, I think that they saw an opportunity in what we did here in Worcester at Insignia to bring a higher level of customized glove to the marketplace, an American-made glove for what is the American pastime. And they, Rob Devaney and they began to talk, and we did have a very serious limitation in terms of our ability to distribute, and obviously we didn't, because we were quite new in baseball glove manufacturing, only in it for 2 years, we didn't have any brand equity, and of course their brand equity is off the charts.
No question.
And it's a wonderful team of people down in Louisville, everyday guys, great distribution, great brand. And I think it's an often misused word about synergy, but this was a true synergy. That what we could do as manufacturers suited an opportunity that the Louisville Slugger team saw. And we've been at it now a couple months, and it really is turning out to be really a wonderful opportunity for us. And I think that the dealers, there's another stage here, and the consumer has not been yet engaged, but the dealers are encouraged about it. And this is we hear from the Louisville Slugger team. On top, and the next stage will be the consumer, and that consumer will have the opportunity to find these products under the Louisville Slugger brand name, made in America.
The overall product blueprint starts the process. Then, the color of the leather is chosen. Bolts of leather from every color spectrum line a corner of the cutting room. The wide array of choices allows Insignia to create custom gloves. There are 42,000 variations of the Louisville Slugger baseball glove. After that, The leather is read by a machine that maps out every possible cut, allowing for 6 gloves per hide.
These custom baseball gloves with the quality we talked about earlier, and to be able to compete cost-wise, but also be able to get that good to market quickly. If something like this coming out of China might take 8 weeks to get, you're able to do it how quickly?
10 working days.
10 working days from the time the order's placed online on a Louisville Slugger site or some of their collaterals that they have out to be able to get access to this product, and you can do it in 3 weeks. So that speaks a lot about ingenuity, knowing the timelines of freight costs and all the other aspects of having these products come out of China, which don't even come close to meeting the quality that you have here as far as the type of product that you produce, but also goods to market that fast. Again, a tribute to you and your team to be able to make this happen here in Worcester.
Yeah. Thank you. It's true too. I mean, it's what's really interesting about this product. It's just not made in Worcester, Massachusetts, therefore made in America. Every single component in this glove is American source. It's heavy native steer from the Midwest, tan to Milwaukee, from laces that we get from Ohio. Everything in the product is American made. Now, that wasn't just to raise the flag. That was because they were superior products, you know, and the best way to make a good anything is to start with good ingredients. And these are the best ingredients, and they happen to be domestic. So it's and then you go through this iconic brand that is Louisville Slugger, and you get it to consumer. It's a pretty exciting proposition.
55 to 60 baseball gloves are produced at Insignia every day. Insignia is now a leader in baseball glove manufacturing, and that ensures an American pastime product is made in America. That helps business too. Insignia says it is able to make and deliver custom-made gloves to big box stores like Sports Authority in 10 days. A similar order from China can take 3 weeks.
So Bill, here we are in the shop floor. Clearly a lot happening in the lean manufacturing process, but I know you've got some product here that you're obviously very proud of.
Absolutely.
So why don't you show us some of the basic ingredients that go into the glove making, and then show us some of that finished product, the level of quality and what goes into it.
Well, here's the component parts to a glove, and we're making a glove here, customized glove.
I recognize that name. It's an all-star back in what, 84?
And we also put in there, made in Worcester. That's where it's being made.
And these products, they're cut from quality leather you talked about, coming from the own American Midwest.
Yep.
And the technique used is obviously high-tech.
Absolutely.
And laser cut, and all helped by computer.
That's correct. We don't have any of the customary, what they call steel cutting dies. This is all CAD drawings into the computer, and then it gets dialess, what they call a dialess cutting system. And it's really great. We don't, we can make adjustments on the fly. If we find something's a little bit too big, a little bit too small, we just redo the CAD drawing, back in business within, less than an hour.
So you get a custom order from a ball club. They want their gloves. Their season starts in 4 weeks. They give you the colors, and they give you what are the characters, the laces that they may want to use,
Right.
the sizes. They tell you what they want for an entire ball team, and then to the point of even having the players' names custom engraved on that glove.
Custom embroidered.
Custom embroidered.
We stock about 65, 70 different colors of embroidery. You see them there in that rack there. So we can have, if the person wants their name in red, blue, pink, whatever color, we can do it for them. And it's just a small adjustment on the machine just to change the thread.
And so from the individual that might place an order on a Louisville Slugger website to a team that might come to Louisville Slugger and say, we want you to outfit the entire squad, you go to work. And from that time, it'd be great to just show us around the shop floor a little bit, tell us what happens from the raw product here to when we see that finished product, which obviously looks so great on that table right there. So Bill, we're here at what we talked about earlier, which is high technology, maximizing the available raw product, trying to get the best you can out of every cut of leather that you have. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how the system works and how it goes about?
So what we have is a dialess cutting system. We put in the CAD drawings that we want, depending on size, whether it's a left hand, right hand, and the different types of web configurations that might be required. The first thing that we do is we mark the skin, and you'll see the skin here is marked in 2 colors. Yellow is totally unusable. White is for selected parts that don't need as high a quality rating as, let's say, the palm of the glove. The machine would then come take a picture of this skin, and then what it does, it has a nesting program that interlocks all the parts needed for the glove on the skin. Once that's done, we cover it. The table has a vacuum to it. We put the plastic over it to keep this skin flat, and then the machine goes and cuts it. And as you can see it punches the holes for the laces first, and then it goes around and cuts the actual pattern.
Now, on the leather itself, do you have to digitize the outline so that it knows, or does the machine actually self-determine the size of the leather?
What happens is it has a camera, and it scans the skin first. And that also we use as a system check to verify the size of the skins. It'll tell us exactly the size of skin. Even though it's an odd shape, the system's designed to do that. It tells us the exact footage of the skin and gives the exact shape so that it knows where it can lay out the parts.
Now, the gentleman here on the assembly line, he'll do this all himself, so he'll lay the leather out. He has the expertise to be able to look for the areas that he's got concerns about, mark them accordingly, and then monitor both the computer as well as the system to make sure it's all happening per the dictates of the assembly line.
That's correct. Dan, he's been doing this quite a while now, and he'll review the skins, prepare skins for the machine, and then lay them out, let the machine do its scanning, put the plastic down for the vacuum to keep the skins flat, and then lets the machine operate. He's also cognizant that the machine's functioning properly. From time to time, the blades in the machine have to be changed, and he'll notice whether it's cutting properly or not, make those adjustments to the machine. And then he'll get a work order from me to start off with, tell him how many gloves he has to cut. And then you'll see behind us, he's got a job for 50 units, and he's cutting this right now. This is a 2-tone glove. It has black and burgundy, and right now he's cutting the burgundy parts for the 50 units.
Very nice. And those are the colors up there that you have available. Depending on the order, small or large, you'll have the product available here. Is there ever a challenge when a certain color is ordered with a large allotment that's got to be built that you have to bring in leather quickly?
Yeah, there is. That happens from time to time. We try to keep a good stock of all the colors, what we consider the most popular colors, but every once in a while we'll get a custom order where it's maybe not such a popular color.
They want cinnamon and pink, and you don't have it in stock. Gotcha. And then over here would be all the computer technology required to support this operation.
That's correct. And you'll see right there, there's a picture of the skin that's being cut right now, and it shows you where all the parts are laid out. And if we get closer, you can see the crosshairs here. It's showing you where it's cutting right now on the skin. So it's making, you can see that it's right there. It's constantly adjusting and letting you know what's cut. And anything that's kind of grayish is not cut. Anything on this other side is already cut.
Now, in the past, when this was done prior to technology, how many people would be involved just in this cutting process between layout, quality control, and then using those dies to maximize and get the best and most out of that piece of leather?
You'd have a layup man, and that layup man would do all the sorting and give that to the operator. The difference here, this glove, this machine cuts about 6 gloves every 15 minutes, which is, would take an operator probably 40 minutes, 45 minutes to do the same thing, and he wouldn't yield as many parts as the machine does.
The cuts of leather are then assembled by a Toyota sewing system, the same system used to sew Toyota car seats and accessories. Names, titles, teams can be sewn onto the gloves as part of the custom process.
So these are what you mentioned, they're single head embroidery machines, and you could set these up for several tasks, as you mentioned. So why don't you describe that a little bit?
Well, one of the nice things about this, traditional embroidery machines have multiple heads, but you can only run one pattern at a time. Here we can run different patterns on different machines, and that helps us a lot when we're doing customization, because if you had a 12-head embroidery machine, you wanted to do one name, all the other heads would be idle except the one that's actually doing the name. Here we can have the name being done, can have something, another part of the glove being done on the other machine. And again, these are great. They're all computer controlled. The files come into us, digitized, and we just load them in, pick the colors we want for the different parts of the embroidery, and I'll just grab a piece here. So this is a piece we're doing here for Louisville, which is on the index finger of the glove. And here you're seeing there's 4 different colors, but you could run up to 12, 13, 14 colors.
All client driven, what they want, what they're looking
Exactly.
for, and you've got the range of colors to support it.
Exactly. And great thing about this thread is very local. They're out of New Hampshire. So we can, even if it's a really crazy color, we can usually get it overnight.
Fantastic. I love the color selection, red, white, and blue. Works for me. Jim, what a tribute to you. I mean, I've been here for about a half an hour walking the shop floor. We saw the raw product in that bin, which had some of the embroidery that was already completed and all. And literally within 30 minutes, I've got a custom glove here, custom colors, with my name emblazoned on the side, constructed with local Worcester labor, highly skilled, highly trained, built right here in Worcester, so made in Worcester, and literally national pastime, baseball, manufactured right here in Worcester, right here in the good old US of A.
In the past year, Insignia has hired more than 10 new employees. These new hires will be cross-trained. One day, they may work on baseball gloves. The next day, fine leather purses, because downstairs from Insignia is the other arm of the company, Abbas. These handbags have been featured in fashion magazines under designer names and are sold in high-end department stores. They are not knockoffs. The designs come from brand-name companies, but they are assembled here in Worcester.
Jim, we're here at another portion of your shop floor, and we're again looking at the leather industry live and well here in Worcester, Massachusetts. In this case, high-end leather product, everything from ladies' handbags through to iPad, custom iPad covers, and related product, and manufacturing for such high-end retailers like Nordstrom and others. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happening on this floor?
Yeah, this is where we've always been. We started baseball gloves 4 or 5 years ago, and we've been in the accessory business for 40 years. And what's so unusual generally is the people who are cross-trained, they could make a baseball glove in this factory and can and do under demand. At the same time, can make a beautiful clutch purse for a upstairs department store, an iPad case or app for Neiman Marcus. And it's the diversity of the product that is so unusual, but the skills are the same. The programmable stitching is still instrumental, and it's really one of the nice things we see here, the balance between the sporting goods and the fashion business. And I think one would be surprised to know that they come out of the same factory, out of the same workforce.
Well, I would tell you that I would imagine that the shopper in Neiman Marcus is assuming that when they're looking at such a high-quality handbag or clutch bag or iPad cover, that they believe that this was probably hand-stitched in Italy. And quite the opposite, that Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom's client would actually be looking at a product stitched right here and made right here in Worcester, Massachusetts.
I think that's accurate, Michael. And all the way to genuine alligator men's products sold at Bergdorf Goodman, is that the skills are the same, the quality of the craftsmanship is common to everything we make. And that's the cross-training of the people, that they can do any of these products, all of these products at such a high level, is really where our opportunity is today.
So high-quality product from the materials used through the manufacturing process and the talent that you have in workforce, done efficiently, and with the skill levels required to compete with the Europeans and beat them on price point and get them onto the retailers' floors, and certainly to kick the pants on the Chinese and still make sure that we're able to compete on a worldwide stage with such great products made here in Worcester. It's a tribute to you and the Devaney family, and we're very pleased to have you here in the heart of our city.
Thank you so much.
And just like the baseball gloves, these products are assembled with the finest detail. So the next time you see a purse at a fine store, you just might be seeing something handcrafted close to home.
This man is a super skill. There are 3 or 4 super skills in this business. Well, maybe not even 3 or 4. He's one of them. He can do anything in this business. And his Dylan on the other side, same way. They can do anything. But what he's doing, again, he's making a wallet, men's wallet. Let me cover the brand with genuine American alligator, you know, Italian calfskin, and believe me, quite a handsome price. And it all based on his skills to bring it together. Here's a wallet that I can talk to you about. It's not finished yet, but this is going to Neiman Marcus. It's matte alligator, and again, everything is so fine, and he taught me everything he knows. It's a hand. Skandar, say hi to the mic, to the camera. Skandar, how long you been with us? How many years?
For 13 years.
13 years. Skandar's wife, Filaretti, who's not in, she's out on holiday. She's been here 13 years. Where did Adriana go to school?
Assumption
Assumption.
College.
And where Mark go to school? Mark, your boy?
For account, and my boy account.
He's an accountant.
Assumption.
Assumption. So they, two children both went to Assumption College. Great guy. This is Dylan. Dylan went and became a citizen, and he changed his name. He came to America with long hair. How long you worked here?
About 20 years.
20 years. And he had long hair. They nicknamed him long hair. He became a citizen and became Dylan. He can do, another guy can do anything. He can take a piece of leather and give him a day, you have a complete product. Very skilled guy. You know, when we talk about workforce in America, we have a team there that's totally dependent on each other, and the end product is the best made in the world. These people that have been with Abbas for 20 years, 30 years, 12 years, and how much they contribute to us. I mean, this business is nothing without them. But what's most gratifying is what they've done for themselves and their families. All different cultures, all different backgrounds, working as a team, making a product is unbelievable, the best. Here's Janula, what Janula is doing, and this system is quite different. Janula is also from Albania. How long have you been with us? How many years?
10 years here. 10.
10 years.
Yes.
10 years, unbelievable. She cuts this leather, she doesn't waste. She saves this, she won't waste this. She'll find a use for this. Very skilled, has to cut the big dies, the small dies, and make sure the product is perfect at the outcome. She's cutting here multiple products, and just dedication. Wonderful. Plus, she's my friend. She bakes the best baklava you ever did have. Yeah. Yes. Miata can make. Miata, where are you from?
From Iraq.
From Iraq.
Yeah.
And Saeed, where are you from? From Iraq. From Iraq. Hana, who's out today, usually is Syrian. Where are you from, Samuel?
I'm from East Africa.
The city of Worcester, for an industry such as our own, the cut and sew industry, it's founded in the roots of the city. There was a tremendous footwear population here, since gone, and a lot of textile and apparel manufacturing, since gone. But it's always been a mecca for cut and sew. Very high quality products, very quickly delivered, and of a very specialized nature, and we were doing that in the mid-2000s. We were actually growing the Abbas line. We weren't making baseball gloves at that point. We were actually increasing that business 25% a year. And then the recession hit. And our brand didn't have enough traction to survive the recessions. Everybody had problems. Even the strongest brands in America had problems. But for the more formative and nascent brands, we just weren't. So we really got knocked back. And at that point, we decided, somebody came to us and said, "Will you make baseball gloves?" And we said no, until finally we said yes, and we began to make baseball gloves. once in a while I have them hold the product, because if they're feeling unhappy or they're feeling I'm pushing them too hard, or if they wonder why are we doing this, I give them a product and I don't have to say anything more, because they recognize that they made that product, and it's incredible.
From the Louisville Slugger baseball glove to a top designer accessory, this company is proud to say it's made in Worcester.
Genuine American alligator.